Tan Books presents The Secret of Mary by St. Louis de Montfort. Read for you by Elisa Torres. About St. Louis de Montfort. St. Louis Marie Grignon de la Béchare, who abandoned his family name for that of his birthplace, was born on January 31st, 1673, in the little town of Montfort-la-Canne, which is located in Brittany, France. He studied for the priesthood at St. Sulpice in Paris, having made the 200-mile journey there on foot. He was ordained a priest in 1700 at the age of 27. St. Louis de Montfort had wanted to become a missionary in Canada, but he was advised to remain in France. There, he traveled around the western part of the country from diocese to diocese and from parish to parish, instructing the people, preaching, helping the poor, hearing confessions, giving retreats, opening schools, and rebuilding church buildings. His labors were almost miraculously fruitful. He stated that never did a sinner resist after being touched by him with a rosary. But because he encountered great opposition from religious authorities, in particular, being forbidden by the Bishop of Poitiers to preach in his diocese, he decided to travel to Rome to ask the Holy Father if he was doing God's will, and whether he should continue as before. St. Louis de Montfort walked to Rome 1,000 miles, and put his case to Pope Clement XI. The Pope told him to continue his traveling missionary work, and named him Missionary Apostolic, but told him always to be sure to work under obedience to the diocesan authorities. One of St. Louis de Montfort's greatest problems was the opposition he encountered from propagators of the Jansenist heresy, which was then very active in France. The Jansenists spread an atmosphere of harshness and moral rigorism, claiming that human nature was radically corrupted by original sin, as opposed to the Catholic teaching that human nature is still essentially good, though fallen, although it has suffered a darkening of the intellect and weakening of the will. The Jansenists denied that God's mercy is available to all, and they allowed only infrequent reception of the sacraments of penance and the Holy Eucharist, and only after long and severe preparation, with Holy Communion being looked upon as a reward rather than a remedy. Also, they taught that God should always be addressed with fear and trembling. These tenets resembled those of Calvinism. Although Jansenism had been condemned by the Church twice, even before St. Louis de Montfort's birth, its teachings continued to spread and to influence people for a century. In contrast, St. Louis de Montfort preached confidence in Mary and union with her.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?